Thank you. Thank you for having me. So I'm going to try to take 5 minutes to give you a 70-year history of the energy markets. I'll start with the US, but it does pertain globally. So here we're basically looking at the fuel mix of new fuels coming online since the 1950s. And there are a number of different factors that will essentially drive technology for the coming decades. And you'll notice a large spike even as we get into the 2000s. But through the 1930s and 50s, there was a large focus on just providing energy. So you see a lot of hydro and coal. Post-World War II, there's new interest in using nuclear for positive effects. There's ongoing organization around the countries that produce fuels like oil and OPEC. But that does increase reliance on those technologies. What you see as we move into the 2000s is deregulation and a large interest in this new technology becoming more efficient, specifically with natural gas. As we move through the 2000s, there's this huge influx of renewables, specifically wind and solar, as we start focusing more on climate change. Right around that time, we see regulation, investment, and efficiencies all growing at the same rate, really making these economic fuels. At the same time, we see new players like corporations with interest in these areas. So that's where we're starting to see a transition that's much more rapid to energy than we've ever seen historically. Even now, we're seeing this transition expedited. You've heard of the Gigafactory from Tesla. You start to see battery storage, what to do with renewable resources. And we expect to see this continue, especially in the US, with the new infrastructure plan that's now looking at not just the new technologies, but how to transmit them. So globally, this is the same idea. It's a little different by country, but really the focus is on CO2 emissions, leveraging renewable resources, increasing the ability to transmit them where they're needed, heavy investment in electrification of what consumes that energy, and then improving the efficiencies of those. So combined with that, we also see a focus on using these technologies more to become energy independent. You can even see that now with the war in Ukraine. Certain countries are reducing their reliance on fuels that are coming out of certain countries because of that. And this is an ongoing trend that we see. And all of these ongoing changes are really driving the need for new market models, new business models. They're welcoming new market players, and all of these are focused on data and analytics. So really, we're seeing these groups try to evolve with the evolving markets. Some of the challenges with this change are the intermittency and power quality that you get from a fuel source that you can't really control as effectively. We also have aging infrastructure throughout the world, or lack of infrastructure. And a lot of these new technologies drive new and unexpected outcomes, even if they've been planned for. And so the changing business models are also impacted with that. But the focus of energy really has never changed. And that's been on safety, reliability, reducing that carbon impact, and delivering economic energy. So really what our focus is to take a lot of the things you've heard of today, IoT, data, big data, the cloud, AI, and to gather information from any part of the sector that we can to really derive insights, really by cleaning that data, completing it, joining it together, leveraging the technology in the cloud, and using whether they be 50-year-old models for optimization or new technology and machine learning to really predict renewable generation, to help manage equipment more effectively so that we can optimize the maintenance, simulate the grid, how it will change going forward with these new technologies, continuing to track how those are evolving, and then really analyzing what that does to the market so that we can maintain ongoing intelligence, not just on the market, but the businesses that are participating. And that really continues the focus on reliability, the carbon impact, and economics, both locally and globally.